There we go. What is up, guys? Welcome to Obe TA, where we scan the charts and apply traditional technical analysis to sometimes untraditional markets to try and find the mythical edge. And I left my arrow on the third window and I put on a weird window. Cool. All right, guys. Welcome. Happy Tuesday, November 23rd. I feel like I know the date the entire day, and I'm literally looking at daily candles and stuff all day. And then when I go live, I have no idea what day it is. Tonight we got a little hot cocoa in the mug. Trying to get in the winter spirit. I'm a summer boy at heart, but you gotta do what you gotta do, alright, to keep the soul warm, keep the soul happy. Take your mind off of numbers sometimes, you know? But yeah, man, this is Obe TA. My name is Ryan. You can call me Ryan, you can call me Obe, you can call me whatever you want, really. As long as you learn something here, and as long as you don't buy Shiba Inu. Kidding, you can do whatever you want. But we're going to take a look at different assets. If you have anything you want me to take a look at, go ahead, throw them at me. I'd be happy to do so. But we're going to start it off here with Bitcoin as always, right? So, Bitcoin on the daily. We've needed it to be doing some things, and it's doing some things, but we need it to do some more things. So, what am I talking about here? Taking a look at the daily, all right, we don't really have too much help. So, you had what is called a piercing pattern candle here, which is where a green body basically penetrates, get your mind together, into the previous red candle at least 50%, right? I mean, you certainly had that, so it's a bullish candle confirmation on the daily. Seemingly, you've had a little bit of a spring off of this 59,924 level. Came into these critical areas looking left, right. The levels from May, levels from February that you need to get back above, right? Below this thing, it's just straight up grossness, all right? But yeah, so you had a somewhat bullish candle, all right? Piercing pattern, not super strong, but also not terrible. You do not have any, oh good God, hold on a sec. You don't have any kind of divergence or anything, right? That's what this horizontal line is here for. So there's no hidden bullish divergence or even or class A divergence or anything, right? And we plotted this RSI line here yesterday, so you gotta really get above that to try and issue in an indicator that it's going back up into these levels, all right? That might be a barrier that lines up almost perfectly with, 58,375 and 59,611, all right? Those critical levels. So you've got a few things in your way before you get back up there. But the interesting stuff is really going on the 4-hour here. So, what is interesting about it? Well, you've got this play off of the bullish butterfly harmonic, right? You got a spring off of it, and you've got what's seeming to try and be a confirmation low here, all right? So this is something that's very important to look for when you're doing technical analysis, is the spring, right? You get the reaction low down here, and then the confirmation of that as a low, all right? So that's a good sign. Now, you want other stuff to start coming in order to confirm that maybe this is a real confirmation. And what you're getting here seemingly is some class B bullish divergence, which is a lower low on the oscillators with the same low in price, okay? So, I mean, you certainly have it. You have it on the MACD and the RSI. So, my thoughts on this is that it's going to pick up into this green zone, these levels, whether or not you have enough juice to break them remains to be. The biggest holdup with this is the daily, all right? Not showing anything, even if this does start to reverse, as far as reversal signals which would push you further out into time and space, right? So yeah, I mean, the 4 hours looking like it's going to get you back up to that level, but whether or not you've got enough juice to break it, I don't know. I would love to see something on the daily here that would signify, you know, maybe that there's some Class A bullish divergence on the daily as well, right? That would make me feel better. You've maybe got an argument for Class C, barely, but that's your weakest form of divergence. That's when you have the same low in the oscillator and it's only on the RSI. So you have the same low on the RSI with a lower low in price. Class C, weakest type. So you've got the weakest type of divergence going into very serious critical resistance. All right, I don't like weak divergence going into strong resistance personally. I don't know about you guys, but I want to see strong divergence before approaching levels of resistance like this, okay? So, I don't know. That right there on the daily, it's not giving me the good butterflies, okay? I've got, like, you know, bats in my stomach with that. Which ultimately, if the 4 hour, which is looking bullish, gets it back into those zones and it maybe comes and touches this trend line right here. All right, you're in a broadening wedge type of structure, comes up and, you know, this trend line lines up, if it were to get there, in that zone right around 59,000. So if you break that trend line, then the argument for you to get past 59,618 is maybe a little bit stronger, right? And at that point, maybe the daily breaks this RSI trend line. So a couple things needing to line up and happen to convince me that that this is the bottom, that it's up from here to new highs. I don't know, man. You've also got the 200-day moving average above you on the 4 hour there. It's way below you on the daily, which is cool. And we're just talking about short term right now, right? We're not talking about Bitcoin's overall long term, because overall long term, Bitcoin is like the most bullish asset in the last 10 years. I'm not concerned about that. We're just trying to locally, on a shorter time frame, project where price might end up that makes sense to get more, right? To deploy a large amount of capital into it. Okay. For me, I'm fully expecting at this point, from what I'm seeing right now, the weakness on that daily, these, all of these kind of resistance overhead. I think you're getting back up into this level, and then you're selling off again. And at that point, you would have, two levels of confirmation there. So you would have this top here from, the 21st, and then you would have seemingly another top up here, which would be like confirmation top, at which point I think that's what would send you down to that 53 level that we've been talking about, all right? And again, Bitcoin, oftentimes after its runs retraces 50%. 50% is right down in here at 53. So it would make sense from just a historical standpoint. The signals that I'm seeing here seem to imply that it's going to be a weak reentry, which would probably be met with strong resistance, confirming and selling back off, at which point, confirmation of that level twice as resistance. I'm seeing it down at 53, all right? So I still think it's going to 53, personally, until something comes along and changes my mind. All right, but I don't know what that would be. We take a look on the hourly here. You got a little bit of an interesting W structure I'm seeing right off the top, so let's go ahead and see what that's looking like. Maybe some kind of shark. Yeah, I mean, the 886 lines up almost perfectly with that trend line as well. So just add it to the mix, man. Now, I mean, this is on the hourly, so it's kind of meh, but you would be at the pattern completion zone of a bearish shark at the 886, which lines up almost perfectly with that supply line. So you need to break the supply line to confirm breakout to the upside, and you're just in a resistance zone. Strong resistance. So now add a bearish harmonic on the hourly, potentially there. Meh. All right. Okay. So I mean, that is Bitcoin. But moving to the weekly, right? If we want to get an idea of the longer term effect of this, right? You're building positive momentum, higher highs, right? Higher lows. So on the weekly, it still looks okay. And in case you don't believe me, 50% retrace right down in here, okay? Where's it at? 54. All right. So between 53 and 54,000. I do believe, let me see something. Yeah, I would size it up there. I would size it up from the swing low back in September. That's pretty substantial. The 618 lines up almost perfectly with this little shoulder back here from September 6th. So I mean, a 61.8% retrace to that level would be even higher value, even better. You might get some kind of like A, B, C, D thing at that point. So by no means is this dead. And what do I mean? A, B, 618, C, and then to either the 1272 or the 1618. All right, would put you right up around $81,000. Okay, so I mean, you could see something like this, right? So again, longer term, because we're looking at the weekly here, so it looks fine. You can definitely see something like this happen. Does it all the time. We're just trying to see if it's going to break the current resistance it's facing, and if it doesn't look like it's going to, we want to make sure we're prepared for it to sell off and come down to 53,000. Right? We want to make sure we've got some powder down there, some dry, some tinder and sticks and whatever else you can use. A little TNT. I don't know, to deploy, right? As long as it's showing signs of reversing down there, which makes sense that it would. Because then you've already got variables lining up, right? You're already ahead of the game. You've already got variables waiting for it. So that is Bitcoin, man. All right. How is everybody's Tuesday going, dude? All right. In case there's anybody in here right now, tell me how your Tuesday is going. You can see free requests, dude. Send whatever you want in here. I'll take a look at it. It's free, all right? So even if you don't like it, even if you think it's terrible, right? It's free, man, all right? Just an idea. And don't forget to hit the like button, the bell, the sub. Okay, all right, let's take a look at the total market cap. Let's move to the daily first. Because again, I mean, remember, we talked about it yesterday as well, but doing something similar here. All right, springing, back testing the spring, actually creating a higher low. Okay, so that's even better, technically. You couldn't even get it back down to this price of 2.43, or this market cap at $2.43 trillion, right? It went as low as 2.455 trillion before heading back up. And a lot of altcoins did pretty well today, and we'll take a look. But yeah, interesting. Maybe a dragon. You're like, dude, what are you talking about now? Dragon? What the hell? The dragon would be essentially you've got 2 feet. Here's the second foot, and then a break of this trend line kind of forms like a tail. All right, so there's your dragon breathing fire. Got it. This kind of looks like a dog. Looks like a little, looks like a Doberman almost. That was pretty meant to do it. It's a Doberman dragon. But interesting, right? Whatever, if Bitcoin rejects, as I think it's going to, you know, this will probably go down, and we'll see. But kind of interesting.
Okay.
Ugh. I always forget how good these songs are sometimes as background music.
Are you not entertained?
Hogan is up.
All right. Crypto, a total market cap. Maybe a dragon. Cool. Let's see. Let's take a look at the weekly. Yeah, remember that disgusting bearish engulfing candle on the weekly, and could see it retrace something down to here like this shoulder back from September 6th, right? You're seeing that on a lot of things. And that September 6th also lines up with May 10th, right? So that is a very strong level of support. And you can see it already touched it once on the previous weekly candle close. You can see the wick comes down and touches it, you know, perfectly regarding these as support at the 50% retrace. So if it breaks that, and I mean that is really strong, that's probably going down to like 1.94 trillion down here, right around the 786 perhaps. Maybe you get support at the 618, but breaking that 50% with these two levels of support, that would not be good. Okay, so we'll see what happens. We'll see what kind of follow-through price action we get with this bearish engulfing candle, but no bearish divergence or anything, higher highs, higher lows, so looks fine to me.
It's good. It's good. It's good.
Okay!
Nice.
All right, man. Let's go ahead and take a look at Ethereum. Rising wedge on the weekly. Hasn't fallen out of it yet, though. I mean, and you can size it up on the daily as well. But see, like this is kind of interesting, right? So Ethereum, at least on the MACD here, maybe on the other side. Nah. Well, yeah, that's a little weird. Maybe there's an argument here for this. I mean, that's not bear or bullish divergence, not hidden bullish divergence, because you have a higher low on the RSI. But it depends where you sized it up on that. I don't know. I wouldn't size it up from this peak down here. At that point, you would slightly have it, kind of like you slightly have it on the MACD. So I mean, I guess that makes sense. I would line it up here. Slight, but there, just like on the MACD. Yeah. Slight, but there. Okay. And like Bitcoin, getting something similar here, but like total market cap, making a higher low, right? Creating a seemingly higher low, and it's right at the 200-day moving average. So Ethereum looks kind of interesting, actually. Okay, regarded it once in the previous 4-hour candle close and has seemingly rejected off of it. You're testing it again, right? Price got up to it with this wick, touched, and then has come back down. So we'll see. You're battling the 200-day moving average as we speak. All right, but you definitely have a W-type structure going on here. So let's see if you've got. Let's see if we can get a bearish harmonic overhead. Oh boy, you might. I mean, you might be dealing with a bearish Gartley situation here. So the 786. So it's all fine and dandy. All right, you can go ahead and put your harmonic in there. This is a bearish Gartley, which is the strongest harmonic, right, in existence. So let's go ahead. What I like to do is just throw a line right over where the pattern completion zone is at D, and you do have a bit of a shoulder here back from November 3rd. So let's see if there's anything significant on the daily. Really, I mean, it was the highest candle close at that point on November 3rd. That's really it, though. So it's not like a major level of resistance, but I could almost see Ethereum getting up to this level while Bitcoin moves towards back towards its critical levels to try and break right in the middle of that green zone like we were talking about. I could see Ethereum getting up there while Bitcoin does that, and then if Bitcoin dumps, especially regarding that as respecting that pattern completion zone. I could see something like that for sure. So we'll leave this here just in case, but yeah, I mean, you have hidden bullish divergence on the MACD. Let me clean this up a little bit. Yeah. So look, higher low, lower low on the MACD, And that's about it. Don't have it on the RSI, but you certainly have it on the MACD. Alright, so cool. You're also getting, at that point, you're going to be closer to the apex of the rising wedge structure here. So bearish formation, a big bearish structure. And honestly, the way you would measure this, take it from where it's touching here to the start here. Man, I always hate doing this because anytime you move the square, so it should be from the breakout. Like if it broke down, this doesn't match this because it, like, let me just show you. When I move it around, it like it goes, you know, it expands. You can try. I don't know why. I will figure that out eventually, but it'd be something like this, probably. And I mean, a move like that, if it were to respect this structure this way, I don't know. That's a little much. You could just even do this. Probably more something like that. So. Because yeah, you need at least 3 touches, right? So you've got 1, 2. There's many touches here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you could make it a little bit shorter here, just not have as much of a dramatic measured move. I feel like all the way back there's a little dramatic, especially since you're getting off of these areas here. So I would leave it like this, and that's the way you would size up that measured move. Essentially, take it from this low, where it touches its lowest point, to the top. Back here, all right, and if it could stay the same shape, that'd be cool, but it's not gonna. But if it broke out like here, right, something like this, which would still bring you down to about 2,845. So I mean, I don't know. I mean, we'll see. You have a lot of support below you, so I don't really think that that'll be the case. But rising bear structure like this, potential 4-hour bearish Gartley. We'll see. Maybe the hourly helps beef up the 4-hour. I mean, you're almost over. Like, you're almost eliminating the hidden bearish divergence, which not a lot of assets are doing. So, off of this positive momentum, you need price here to just get above, right? You need to get above this. So as long as you get above that and this continues up and you get it above this amount of positive momentum, then you just wipe out the bearish divergence. But if you get above it and this is lower, this momentum stays lower, you would have Class A bearish divergence, and possibly at pattern completion zone of the bearish Gartley, which would be actually disgusting, and you want nothing to do with buying Ethereum around that level. All right, so just something to keep in mind.
Right.
Cool. Yeah, so that's Ethereum. Keep an eye on it. Again, I'm not buying really anything right now until Bitcoin starts showing some more confidence, right? Or until I have more confidence in Bitcoin. Because if Bitcoin, with doing stuff like this, if it gets up to that point and rejects again, it could just dump straight to 53,000. At which point, any position I've taken would get just destroyed. Would get destroyed. So I'm personally a little bit hesitant in the market right now, which may be to my detriment, but we'll see. You just sometimes with swing trading, you have to give it a couple days, few days, maybe even a week before it starts to develop and show an edge or show support, whatever the case is. And it's not with everything, right? Some things look so good that I would still take a chance on them, and we'll take a look, but we'll monitor going forward here. All right, let's take a look at Binance Coin. Make sure this isn't too loud here. Nah, I think it's all right. Yeah, should be good. like clicking it, it's not moving. All right, should be good.
Okay.
So, like Binance Coin, man. Binance Coin actually showing some really discernible hidden bullish divergence, okay? You have a low back here from October 27th, a much higher low, November 18th forming, bullish engulfing candle, much lower levels of negative momentum. So Binance actually looks pretty good on the daily, and if we look left, size it up here, you're like right at a point of, you technically just got above that. You're probably heading back to 653, 675. All right. 675 being, I believe, the all-time high. Yeah. So, again, I expect Bitcoin to continue up, maybe tomorrow, maybe even into the next day. So you could see Binance play off of this hidden bullish divergence. You could see something like that. Especially considering the day just closed a bullish engulfing candle like that. Yeah, that's pretty good. Interesting. And I mean, if you wanted to just play it for what it is right now, yeah, let's do it. All right, go ahead, get your long position tool, put it where price currently is. I mean, I'll put the stop right below these prior levels back here, right? The highest point trader set it up April 20th, April 21st. You can make it even a little loose, right? Put it outside of the demand line. So we'll risk 4%, let's say. And I mean, I think you could get it up to prior all-time high there, 676, 3.11. Let me see where you're at if you don't get all the way up there. Okay. Keep it tight. There you go. All right. So 10%, right? This is a very local, short-term kind of grab, but risking 3.48. First target, go ahead and put it at the peaks here from November 9th and November 15th. All right, that will be your first profit-taking level, 10%. Cool. Go ahead and move this here. Second target, this is pretty conservative here, but I would go ahead and just put it at the prior all-time high. This would be a quick trade. This one you're not expecting to take time to play out, right? You can see these targets hit very quickly. And I mean, at that point, we could go ahead and just Fibonacci. We'll say the 1414, why not? Get you about 24.33. All right. Boom. We'll keep it there. Clean it up a little bit. We'll keep it here. All right, let's go ahead, publish this. Potential, we'll just say. All right, I'm just gonna save it just to keep, see what happens. Cool. All right, keep an eye on it. All right, don't have to take action on this, but interesting, right? And looking a lot better than some other assets. So that on the daily looks good. Higher low above the 200-day moving average. Yeah. No divergence really to speak of, just confluence going on. And again, another W-type structure forming here. So you could see something. Probably another, another Gartley. Okay. Keep an eye, alright? Watch out for the pattern completions under the Gartley, so it might not get there. We'll see. We'll see. So I'm going to leave that there. I want to keep that in mind. But we'll see. We'll keep an eye, alright? I like the daily a lot. So that daily might just be strong enough to break through a 4-hour bearish harmonic pattern, even if it is the Gartley, okay? 618, 54 is valid. I mean, technically valid. 886, anything up here? The 886, 612, nope. Gartley's really the only harmonic on this W formation, so we'll keep an eye on it. That puts it at 627.80. But it's a small play, man. We're risking 3.48%. Alright, so we'll see. I'll leave that up there, though. Take a look at the weekly real quick. Yeah, weekly, just, you know, no bearish divergence or anything. Another W-type structure on a weekly time scale. Maybe another Gartley, dude. Ah, never mind. No. Gartley's not playing out, so not even really. If it were going to be anything on this, it's too deep. So there's no formal harmonic even on the weekly time scale. So that's good. That is good. We'll keep an eye on it. I like that divergence on the daily. I do. Bullish engulfing candle. Like it. Alright, let's move it over and take a quick look at Avalanche here because it actually was down for the first time in forever. Oh my god. Down 8.17% today. Okay, and, you know, oh my god, it was overbought. It was, you know, as far as the RSI is concerned, on the weekly and on the daily. Alright, this is why you don't buy at these levels. It's like, oh my god, is Avalanche going to, is it decoupled from Bitcoin, and is it going to just continue on and overtake Cardano and just go on for it? No. This is why you don't buy at these levels. Okay, what you're probably going to get is hidden bullish divergence on the 4-hour. Right, so you might come back towards the middle of this of these trend lines. So you might just come back towards the middle, maybe regard this little shoulder back here, somewhere around there. And what you could even do, size it up as always. Try to match up the Fibonacci levels. So down around the 786. I like this one's a little more discernible. Yeah, so the 618 lines up from this low here, November 16th, to the high. 618 lines up almost perfectly with that as support. Nothing really else looking left. So, little weak, but do have some confluence there. You can see you get down there, $108.19. Start developing the hidden bullish divergence before returning back towards the supply line up here. That's where I would look to potentially maybe get back in on a position with Avalanche. There's no bearish divergence on the daily. Yeah, it's just been higher highs ever since this peak here from October 27th. So.
Nice.
Cool. All right, let's take a look here at Crypto.com, right? It was another one that was going crazy. Yesterday it was up 22%, where the stream before that I was like, you know, don't buy it because, yeah, it could continue to go, but it could also just dump, and it broke out of the supply line, all right? Can you even believe it? On the daily, it was up at, you know, 86 on the RSI, very overbought. Highest level of positive momentum, I think, ever for the asset, yeah. So, tons of adoption for it. Fundamentally looking really strong. Their marketing is just genius. They're doing a lot of crazy stuff in the space. They got freaking Matt Damon as their spokesperson. You got Jason Bourne as your spokesperson. I mean, come on. You're probably going to be successful. But yeah, completely overbought. On the weekly, it's at 93. All right, so just... I get it, man. Look, oh, it's up 22%. Did I miss out? Okay. It could have just as easily been down 22%, and it wouldn't have been weird. It would not have even been weird. And at that point, you would have been devastated. So you missed the boat on Crypto.com for now. All right? It will return to Earth at some point, like Matt Damon in, I think he was in that movie Mars. The Martian, whatever it was called. Did he actually even ever come back to Earth? That might have been a bad reference. Anywho. It will eventually come back down. Alright, when it's overbought like that, it just will. So wait for that. So remember, I really like Crypto.com right now. Oh my god, it's down 61% from its high from when I really liked it. Do you still really like it? And if you're sitting there and it's, 60, 70, 80% off, and now you're not interested anymore, you need to take a step back and think, maybe I'm only interested in things when they're up ridiculous amounts. And that is the worst time to be buying them. So you need to recalibrate your mindset in that case, because if you're only getting interested in coins that have already taken off, you will lose in the long run. Okay? You just will. That is where dumb money gets in and buys, and the dumb money gets stupid losses. And when I say stupid losses, I mean big losses. Stupidly big, but also stupid as far as like a brain measurement. All right, just wanted to take a quick look at that though. And speaking of stupid losses, man, take a look at the stock here. Zoom, right? The pandemic golden child that just could not lose. Everybody started working from home and stuff. Oh my God, it's great. And it makes sense, right? Fundamentally cool. Dude, just getting absolutely devastated today. It is down 14.71%. That's terrible. Kind of at the pattern completion zone of a bullish bat, right? Right down at the 1618, right? The golden ratio, the golden. Wow, what the freak is the word? Golden mean ratio, okay? That's what it is. The golden mean ratio, the GMR. A little overextended. It could go down as far as 3618 from this B to D. So, I mean, technically valid. But the 1618, man, got down there, touched it before coming back up, right? Like, this stuff is so cool. Because, look, you could say, this is just random, whatever the case is. But, like, look at the gap. It's like, why did price reverse there? And we could put a line directly on that price, all right? 196. What was the low? Low was 195.80. If you want to make it precise, 95.80. Boom. All right. That's exactly where the lowest point it was that it touched. All right. So if we look left, I mean, really not even much support, right? So I think it's pretty much just the 1618 that stopped it. But certainly no bullish divergence, oversold. So you might see some, relief. This gap might even fill. But Zoom has just been absolutely disgusting. Really since October of 2020. It's just been making lower highs, lower lows. Yeah, at this point, you don't even have like a wedge argument. You're kind of just, you fell out of this little channel that it was in. Oh, you're back in it actually, so that's kind of interesting. So kind of respecting the trend lines there. You're back above it, back in the channel. So who knows, maybe you come back up and fill the gap before, continuing down. You can see something like that for sure. Okay. Yeah, you also had a disgusting level of an bearish divergence going on the daily. Take a look at the weekly real quick for it. Yuck, dude. Kind of a falling, broadening pattern. So yeah, man, I mean, you could definitely see some relief and come back up into this level of historical support, but at that point, I think you might have some. Nah, not really even. Kind of has some Class A bullish divergence going on the MACD, but not on the RSI, and now you're just building negative momentum again. All right, it's not good.
Come on, man.
Not good. All right. I'm not touching Zoom with a 10-foot virtual pole. But it's pretty cool to see the 1618 get respected off of just annihilation, off nothing, right? Just a giant gap in destructive selling. What happened with Zoom is they had their earnings report today. So, let me see. They even hit it, right? They even exceeded the earnings, which is just another lesson here. Why not to trade into earnings? They exceeded, they beat it by 1.93%. Cool, they met it, right? It should go up. But they said something during the meeting. They expect that with the pandemic winding down and people returning to work and getting vaccinated, etc., they foresee growth continuing to slow amidst competition and returning to work, blah, 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 whatever. Bad news for future revenue. And people were like, all right, we want nothing more to do with you. And they just dumped it. All right, so, yeah, okay. And going into it, if you just read one article that says Zoom is expected to beat earnings, you're going to be like, oh, cool, and you'll buy it. But don't ever do that, because this can happen. All right. And Zoom was just on a downtrend anyway since October 20th, so overall, nah, it's gross.
What, you're selling fruit bowls or something?
Let's go ahead and take a look at Luna here real quick. Also in its own little rising wedge, also showing some hidden bullish divergence starting to develop, okay? Look at that. Right, lower low on the oscillators. Higher low on price. Very nice. Alright, so you can see some upside here. I could see this going to 47.11. Looks like another point of potential resistance. And then obviously the all-time high up here at 54.97, which would put you right up around the supply line of the rising wedge, getting closer to the apex. So, yeah. Am I going to buy Luna right now? No, probably not. Again, given the context of Bitcoin. But looks more bullish than some other assets. Could give it that. It's really just had a really good run. If it were to fall below here, I mean, you've certainly got some support down at 39.94, 35.06. And if we're talking 113, because I mean, fall below this pennant type structure, and really your major points of support are going to be right around 2220. So we'll see. We'll see how Luna holds up if Bitcoin does sell off and get down to 53,000. Because at that point, you're falling out of the structure. You might have a measured move type scenario go on that puts you down around that 2220. But we just have to wait and see. All right, you don't really want to buy assets getting close to the apex either of a bearish structure. Okay. So you can certainly see some upside in the near term before coming back down and testing to get closer, and then bah. So, but I like the bullish divergence. 4 hour showing some Class B bullish divergence below the 200-day moving hour, the 200-day moving average on the 4 hour. Double bottom type stuff. Let's see, is it another bearish Gartley? Could it possibly be? No, it's not. Ooh, you might get some kind of bearish bat stuff going on. Bearish bat up here, the 886. All right, between a 382 and a 50% retrace from A back to X. Right, that's what B is here. X to B. Below the 886, A to C, and the 886 pattern completion zone of D, and below 2.618 from B to D. All right, so bearish bat forming pattern completion zone up here. You can see it get up there, at which point that's about 52.02, which from this very moment would be a rise of about 23%. So, and you know, where would your stop go? Your stop would go right below 39.94. I'll put it right at 39 bucks. Now, is that going to be 3-to-1 odds? Let's take a look. It would be. You have the 200-day moving average before you get there, and you have a level of historical resistance before you get there, but hidden bullish divergence, wave kind of patterns going on. I wouldn't be shocked. But again, if Bitcoin does sell off to 53, it's not getting there. All right. But we'll leave this here. Why not? Now, let's move it to the theme here. The intro song, the thumbnail. Let's take a look at Ocean, just cuz. And performed actually very well on the day. It was up about 8% the prior candle close. Playing off of also Class B. Oh, no. I'm sorry. No, it wasn't. Had a same low with lower low of momentum. There's really only one type of hidden divergence. If you were going to call it Class B hidden bullish divergence, I guess you could. Same low in price with lower lows, so it couldn't get it below the prior, which is good. Above the 200-day moving average. Really just wanted to take a look at it because of the name, but if we take a look at the weekly here, weekly actually getting above some pretty important levels. Somewhat of a cup with handle type structure. I don't know if you had a 50% retrace. Yeah, I mean, I would count it, man. 41%, that's pretty dang close. And with the neckline, I mean, being broken, so you come back. I mean, you've kind of broken out of a weekly cup with handle. Come back, hold it as support. I mean, this thing could really go. No bearish divergence. This is actually pretty interesting. I didn't expect to see this. Above $1, man. I like it above $1 a lot. Because, I mean, really, the only place that this could probably go is $1.72. As long as Bitcoin doesn't destroy it. And that's a 58% gain. And the stop loss would go right below the neckline here. Let me take a look. You have to keep it tight. You can't go below. This would be. I would put it like right here. 1272. Oh my god! I didn't mean to hit that. I didn't mean to smack.
How can she slap?
Can she slap, dude? Speaking of slap, this song slaps.
Come on, man.
Okay.
What am I gonna do?
Okay. Ocean, man. Weekly looks cool. I like that cup with handle. I like that cup with handle on the daily here. Ah, man. No, yeah, we had that Class B. Let's see if the 4-hour helps the daily out at all. Take a look. So 4-hour above the 200-day moving average, unlike a lot of other assets that we're seeing. And again, man, above $1. I actually like Ocean a lot above $1. Long term, man. On that weekly, I like that a lot. The cup with handle, breaking that neckline above psychological $1. 4 hour, I'm not really seeing too much, right? You had some Class A bullish divergence going on the MACD and the RSI, which puts you in your most recent run, got you above the 200-day moving average, but you got that dollar below you, got the 200-day moving average below you, and you're breaking that structure on the weekly. Ocean looks good, man. Yeah, Ocean looks good. You get above this little prior peak here, your local one, November 1st, I mean, you're going up to $1.72, $1.70. Yeah. Yeah, man, that looks good.
It's good. It's good. It's good.
And then with Ocean, there always comes sand, right? Which actually right now is performing, right? It's up 9% so far today. This is on a new candle. So yesterday's candle was close 7.79%. Now it's up, another 9%. So sand being short for Sandbox, which is one of the metaverse coins. So it's a lot like Decentraland. You go on and build and create and use their token to transact with. Sandbox kind of looks like Minecraft almost a little bit. Mana, Decentraland looks almost more like Simsy, but with the creation of Meta from Facebook, these coins just started taking off. All right, so is this kind of a fad? I guess we'll see. But yeah, Sand, Decentraland up 30%, but Sandbox, man, performing very well. It's up from October 27th. I mean, 658%. That's disgusting. So, is now the time to buy Sandbox? No. Not the time to buy Sandbox. Let's move it to the 4 hour. Maybe we'll get a little something better on the 4 hour, alright? Hidden bullish divergence was showing on the 4 hour. Undeniably. On the MACD. A little bit overbought. Daily's pretty overbought. The weekly's very overbought. So, again, not a time to be buying Sandbox, but it is interesting to look at. And you almost had some Class A bearish divergence, but now it's just continuing to build again. So, you could wipe that argument out if you give it time. And I don't know if Bitcoin is going to affect these ones. These might have their own fundamental reason for their ascension. But, interesting. Let's take a look at Decentraland real quick. Because I know in the 4 hour it actually looked really good. Alright, you have what's called a rising three valleys here. So when you have a valley, and a valley is essentially just like a curve, right? In price. So when you have these curve type things going on, not type things, but just a curve. The upside, right? Where this would be a peak, this is a valley, alright? So when you have 3 consecutive valleys, the last one being higher than the prior, and typically you'll want the third to be higher than whatever the starting point for the second one was. All right, that's your confirmation for the rising three valley formation according to Bulkowski. But you've got a rising three valley going on with hidden bullish divergence on the 4 hour. You could definitely see Decentraland go higher, which is crazy to say because it's already gone so high recently, but it's not as overbought as Sandbox is on the daily. And yeah, it's overbought on the weekly, but I mean, with the 4 hour showing that and the daily not overbought, this thing could still have a few days of growth, of gaining before it starts to cool off. I think Sandbox is going to cool off much sooner than Decentraland will. So yeah, I mean, I wouldn't hate a play on Decentraland showing these kinds of signals. All right, let's take a look. What else I want to take a look at here? Zoom. Let's take a look at the dogs real quick. Why not? Just for the hell of it. Alright, we'll take a look at Shiba Inu coin, because it's, you know, in the top 10 now. I think it's like actually 11. I think it fell out, so we have to look at it, right? Potentially hidden bullish divergence showing on the daily. Coming down probably to the 786. Lining up with this highest point from October 7th. But, yeah, I mean, as long as you stay above 10,000, 100,000, so whatever that is, of a penny, then you could see it go insane. When you see stuff like this, it could be crazy. It could also just die and go virtually down to almost nothing, but 4 hour is actually showing, well, at this point, nah, not even now. You have a lower low, maybe Class A, bullish divergence on the 4 hour. That's about as much time as I want to spend on Shiba Inu. Alright, hold on. I will be right back. Alright, sorry about that, guys. I had to, I don't know, I was having a strange feeling in my chest a little bit. Sometimes I get that. Just want to step away, do a little stretch or whatever. We're good. Alright, so Shiba Inu. Yeah, daily. Potential hidden bullish divergence developing on the MACD and potentially on the RSI as well. It needs to start pivoting back towards the upside, but falling wedge, getting close to the apex on the 4 hour. Class B bullish divergence. Okay, I'm still not touching it with a 10-foot pole because it's a joke, but it's now got enough time behind it to where you could show some technical analysis on it maybe. So if you're a Shiba, you know, it's better to buy it here or at these levels or around here at the 786 than it is to buy it up here, you know, at the all-time highs, overbought areas, stuff like that. All right, so if you liked Shiba Inu, if you were, when it was going up and going crazy, if you were in the group chats, whatever, saying that Shiba Inu was the future, and by future you mean more than a couple weeks, then you like Shiba Inu down at these levels. All right, I'm done with it. Let's move along the Doge here, which is like legitimate compared to Shiba, which is, you know, whatever, but yeah, falling out of its ascending, broadening pattern there, starting to form a little channel almost, somewhat of a wedge towards the downside. No divergence to speak of. Yeah, there's no, let's say, bullish divergence or anything. So probably heading to 19.3 cents. You fall below that, you're heading to 16.49. So we'll see. Let's see here. Maybe the 4 hour's helping you out. You can notice, you can see the channel a little bit better on the 4 hour. 4 hours getting some Class A bullish divergence, right? Double Class A bullish divergence. So also playing in hidden bearish divergence on the MACD, but you can get price above 23 cents and get the momentum above it as well. Now you would have to break this supply line, this trend line, which you have been regarding as resistance pretty perfectly on these two candles here, right? See how it touches it? Like perfectly. It never ceases to amaze me how much it respects the trend lines. Of course, drawn off of this candle back from November 8th, this candle here from November 14th. And now you have your third touch, so it's officially a confirmed supply line, trend line, which would act as resistance on the way back up. So keep an eye on it. You got your demand line down here. So, I mean, you could see Doge easily come back up, touch it another time, and then sell down to the demand line, right? Which would be down at like 20 cents. So Doge doesn't really look that good, all right? It's not showing. Let me not speak out of turn here. Yeah, right, and you had your cup with handle, and then it didn't break the neckline, dumped, right? Unlike Ocean, which did break its neckline. It's currently above the neckline. The Doge just dumped off. So, yo, dude. Take a look at AMP, which don't know what they do, but they were up 42% on the day. So, that's pretty good. Overperformer. Was showing some hidden bullish divergence at that point at the pattern completion zone of a bullish Gartley. And you can see it a little bit better on the 4 hour. You might even be able to see it a little even better on the 1 hour, right? That's a pretty big structure as far as the 1 hour concerned, but it's definitely a valid structure. And a pump like that's pretty insane. You're not always going to see a daily increase of 42%, but you certainly had the variables to confirm it, and especially on the daily, discernible hidden bullish divergence going on. Okay, so power of the Gartley showing itself here. That's pretty good.
It's good. It's good.
So now, let's see, forming maybe a little bit of a bull flag, bull pennant. Alright, maybe a little bit of a bull pennant on the 4 hour. A little more dramatic on the 1 hour. So, Class A bullish or not Class A, hidden bullish divergence could be forming on the MACD here, as long as if it starts to pivot, right? Falls out of this pattern to the downside. If you don't get any support there at 6.25 cents, then I mean you're probably falling back down. Look. Hanging on to support. You're probably falling back down to 6.16 cents. Alright, this little shoulder back here. It's also touched here on October 5th, but September 5th, September 6th. I'd set it up like right here. I like it here. Yeah, 6.19 cents. You had a touch here July 7th. Highest point was set up on September 5th. Almost got there October 5th. I like that there. Cool. AMP. Alright. And then that's really kind of it. I'm about to sneeze. Excuse me. Thank you. Thank me. Since I'm the only one in here. Bless me. Thank me. Alright, let's take a look and say some prayers for Turkey, dude. Oh my goodness. I saw this headline pop up. The Turkish lira. So this is the Turkish lira to the US dollar. It was never good. Oh man, it did that back in 2018 as well. Yeah, it was never good. It's always been on a downtrend, but I was reading the article today, and you know it said as of right now their inflation rate is 20%. 20%, and it's expected to get worse because their leaders just have no clue. They're doing the opposite of what America is doing, which, you know, is not sustainable what America is doing by printing the money and, you know, buying assets artificially, keeping the market afloat, right? Keeping rates extremely low. They're just saying like, F it, you know, we're going to do the opposite. But that stuff works when it comes to holding off inflation and stuff like that. You might, you'll start to develop a, wow, dude, I can't think of the term right now. And it's going to drive me nuts. Can't think of the term. I know it starts with a D, and I know when I rewatch this, I'm going to scream at myself because I'll be pissed that I forgot it. But basically a decoupling from assets price and the currency price. So, anyway, they decided, they said, F it, we're going to raise our rates and, you know, whatever. And essentially just try to, I don't know. From what I was reading, it's just going to make exports more expensive. So foreign countries aren't going to invest in as much. They're not going to purchase their products. Yeah, so it dumped off because of that news. It's just awful. People just said, you know, F the Turkish lira. They're in trouble, man. That's really not good. So, I mean, think about it this way too, like 20% inflation. If you put all of your money in the S&P 500, which is risky, I guess, compared to like a savings account, but if it averages 12% year over year, you would lose 8% of your money's value by investing it in the S&P 500, the strongest index in the world. So it's like, dude, where are you going to get 20% a year from? You're not really, unless you get risky. And then if you're getting risky with like your life savings, like what, you're 70 years old and you're putting your retirement account in Amazon or something that gets you 20% year over year, probably put in Bitcoin. But I mean, dang, man, that's crazy. 20%. So if you had 100 grand in 2021, by 2022, you now essentially have $80,000. You lost $20,000 of value in your money by the end of the year. That's insane, dude. That's not sustainable. So, hey man, good luck to Turkey getting your stuff together. And on the flip side, this is the US dollar to the Turkish lira. Bang. I mean, damn. I'll just say, man, I'm happy to be in this country. It might not be perfect. It might have its flaws. It might have its time when we see a financial crisis. I mean, it will come eventually if we continue down this road of what we're doing. And nobody wants to stop spending as much as they spend. That's the thing, right? America and Americans, they just have a spending problem. We have a massive spending problem. The government spends like, you know, it's going out of style. And the American people spend like it's going out of style. Credit card debt, all that stuff is just sky high. It's like we don't have to pay it back. You know, it will eventually. It will eventually come around. And, you know, U.S. national debt just continuing to soar. It will eventually get to a point of where, you know, just the interest on the debt outweighs like the GDP of the country. So, you know, I guess our time may come where the dollar looks like this. But for right now, I'm definitely glad that our currency looks like this compared to a lot of other countries out there. All right. So next time you're sitting here saying, "Oh, America's such a horrible place. This place is terrible. One of the worst countries in the world." Remember, it could always be worse. As far as, you know, economics, policy, and standard of living and stuff like that. Okay. So that's story time. And I think that's going to do it. Here from Obe TA, from Ryan. I think that's going to do it. All right, let's move it back to Bitcoin real quick to see what it's doing over the last, because I've been live, about an hour and 13 minutes. Let's take a look. Ooh, that daily is messy. Yeah, I mean, nothing alarming, at least within the last hour. Maybe the hourly candle, selling off a little bit, painting. Yeah. It's close. Class C bearish divergence on the RSI. That's weak. Nah, I'm still thinking it's gonna get up to the pattern completion zone here, the supply line, the middle of the zone, in the short term. We'll keep an eye on that. All right, cool. That's gonna do it for me. I'm gonna get off of here, 8:45 p.m. Cool. I will be back tomorrow. See what happens until then. But as always, hit the like button, the subscribe button, hit the bell. All right, it'll give you notifications as to when I go live. Join the Discord so you know when I go live. I always post in there before I do, because I don't really have like a set time yet. But I'll always throw in there 30 minutes before I go live, an hour before I go live, when I'm live. All the educational content is in there. You can come in there, ask for any kind of my opinion on things. If you want me to take a look at a specific asset, whatever. Go ahead, jump in there, man. It's all over there. Discord, Instagram, Twitter. Jump on that shiz. And yeah, man, tune in. I will see you guys tomorrow. Probably around the same time. Maybe. Actually, maybe. I might be going out with some buddies. Thanksgiving Eve and whatnot. We will see. Cool. Appreciate you guys being here. Yeah, man. That'll do it. I will see you tomorrow. And as always, remember to keep it technical. All right, please.
What a great audience. Okay, this is up.
You guys having a killer time?
You're not that guy, pal. Trust me. You're not that guy.